Hey there, and good Friday morning. I'm Granger Smith, and we're doing your morning news update here from KHOU 11. These are the stories that you're really talking about clicking on KHOU.com. And we're going to start with a story that just broke this morning that is absolutely heartbreaking. Country singer Granger Smith posted this on his Instagram page earlier today, writing, "I have to deliver unthinkable news. We've lost our youngest son, River Kelly Smith, following a tragic accident, and despite doctors' best efforts, he was unable to be revived." He goes on, kind of explaining what happened and the response from his family, where you can donate to Dell's Children's Medical Center in River's name. So according to some reports in the area, his 3-year-old River drowned in an accident at Smith's home in Williamson County, that's northeast of Austin, and response is just pouring in from other country artists, sending their sympathies, their prayers. Brandy Clark tweeted, "Thoughts and prayers with Granger Smith and his family. Such a nice and humble guy every time I've ever been around him, and you hate for anyone to be going through something like this, but especially someone like Granger." Also hearing from Randy Hauser, who says, "I'm truly sorry for you and your family. I can't imagine the hurt you almost feel right now. We're all thinking about you guys and sending our love." Mark Chestnut wrote, he's just keeping Granger Smith and his family in your prayers. You think about another drowning incident. We've had so many of them around the Houston area just in the past couple of weeks. Young kids, the victims in these cases, and it is just absolutely heartbreaking. So our thoughts and prayers definitely go out to Granger, to his family, and of course to his son, River. Next, a story breaking out of Houston, and this is tragic as well. A man described as good, honest, hardworking, was on his way home after closing down his taco truck for the night. He stopped at a convenience store in the 13,500 block of South Post Oak. This is just north of West Orem. And when he was walking out of the convenience store, the clerk says 4 men jumped out of a car and shot the 49-year-old. His name hasn't been released. Investigators are notifying families, but it looks like the suspects kind of knew his routine, knew he might be carrying some cash from closing up the taco truck that night. And it's just so sad, so senseless. Police do not have names for who they might be looking for at this point. We're going to switch now to the Maleah Davis case and the latest here. We've learned that investigators have Darian Vence's cell phone records. He's Maleah's stepfather, who's been in jail since May 11th. A warrant was actually issued for those records on May 15th because investigators want to know who Vence was communicating with from April 30th on. April 30th is the last day that Maleah was seen alive, so they want to know who he was talking to, who he was texting with, and see if that can provide any other information and whether any other charges will be filed. At this point, Vence is the only person facing charges in the death and disappearance of Maleah Davis, and he's charged with tampering with a corpse. So this is definitely a developing story. But switching from the suspect to the little girl herself, there are so many events this weekend all about honoring her. So first off, there was a proclamation read by Mayor Turner that declares June 9th, Maleah Davis Day. There's also going to be a Walk with Maleah event on Sunday at 8 a.m. They're going to walk from City Hall to the Harris County Jail. Sunday is also when Houston City Hall is going to turn pink, and you're encouraged to wear pink for the Walk with Maleah because that was her favorite color. I know I've mention this to you every day that we've been doing these updates, but just a reminder to go to khou.com/Maleah-Davis if you want to read up on all of our coverage of this case for more than a month. There are so many different angles, new developments, timelines, people involved. So that's a really good resource if you want to learn more about this case before Sunday. But just remember, you can wear pink in honor of Maleah. All right, I'm actually going to have you bring it out to me, because we're going to talk about this next story, just you and me. The internet can be a wonderful place. The internet can also be an awful place. Cyberbullying is a huge issue, and that is something that the Warriors, the Warriors owner's wife now knows. Because here's what happened. You've seen this video. Go ahead and play it, Jaime. Let me set the scene for you here. Jay-Z, Beyonce, they're courtside, the NBA Finals, cheering on the Warriors. And there's a woman, you can kind of see her in the bottom right-hand corner, leaning over Beyonce to talk to Jay-Z. So people saw this video, and Beyonce doesn't look real pleased. It looks kind of a invasion of the personal bubble there. People responded in a big way. So I'm going to show you two responses. First, we have KB. I'm sorry, this is Aries, who says, "How dare her talk," across Beyonce. And then KB says, "I would leave the earth if Beyonce looked this ready to smack me." So after this blew up yesterday, because this was Wednesday night when that video was taken, then we actually learned what happened. So go ahead. This is Ramona Shelburne tweeting that she just spoke to Nicole Curran. That's the wife of Warriors owner Joe Lacob, about the incident. She's that gal in yellow sitting next to Beyonce. She said she was in tears because she'd been getting death threats on social media all night, and this morning she had to disable her Instagram account just to make it stop. There's a whole thread here, so let's go on to the next one so you can kind of get the gist of what happened. So Curran says Jay-Z asked for a vodka soda. She asked if he wanted a lime. It was loud in Oracle. She couldn't hear, so she leaned over. So that's where the photos of Beyonce, looking askance at her come from. And if you watch that video again, you can see him say vodka soda, and Curran says lime. So Curran, then great hostess, goes to get them the drinks. She says, quote, "There was no hostility. I was trying to be a good hostess. I've never experienced cyberbullying like this. I can't believe our players go through this, that kids go through this." And then she wrapped up by saying that she really had no idea there was anything going on until she got home and started seeing the texts from friends, and then she checked social media. She says she's invited Jay-Z and Beyonce to the games like 3 or 4 times. Last night, it was just all about asking them for drinks and being a good hostess. So we're going to advance this slide one more time. I think there might be a few more. So think about this. There's this whole reaction from the Beehive that they were sending death threats to this woman. I don't know if they thought Curran was trying to move on Jay-Z or what the deal was, but they sent her death threats for asking Jay-Z and Beyonce what they wanted to drink. We're also hearing from Beyonce's publicist, that's the next one here, who wrote up a big, long comment on Instagram reflecting on the tour starting a year ago, but also saying, we know you're protective of her, we know you love her, but basically the gist of this message is, please chill, please. So if you could, that would be wonderful. Realize when you see these videos and they go viral, everybody has their 2 cents, but let's not try to get vicious or nasty. I think that's a good lesson for everybody. Okay, another news story this morning that really has you guys clicking. It's kind of cool. Check this out. We got a new rendering of Battleship Texas. What it's going to look like, how they're going to make sure it doesn't float when they move it off its foundation and take it to get repairs. The Texas legislature approved $35 million for repairs. So a lot of people were worried that since it's sinking right now, that's why it needs those repairs, that as soon as they pulled it off its mooring, that it was going to sink. But Battleship Texas Foundation released a whole statement today saying that is not the case. So they're going to take it for repairs, and then the big question is, where's it go? Rumor is Galveston. There's no confirmed decision on that yet, though. But I do want to read a quote from the press release that I found pretty interesting. Here we go. The permanent location has not yet been finalized, but I will say that the 7.2 million people who visit Galveston each year certainly make this an attractive option if we can secure the right location within the city. More tourists visiting the ship would mean more ticket sales and more revenue to pay for the battleship's future maintenance costs. So for all of those of you who were worried about Battleship Texas sinking on its way to repairs. Battleship Texas Foundation says, don't worry, we got this. That is pretty cool video though. Forecast, we don't have Cheetah here today because it's gonna be nice and hot. Shouldn't be any showers today, but when I talk hot, I mean hot. Mid 90s today, upper 90s in a lot of areas, and then this weekend, this is just the start of the heat wave. So we're talking, it's gonna feel like maybe 107 by Sunday. So just be prepared for that. Hydrate, or just be like me, stay in your AC. It's the best way to go. We will be back here at 2:15 with another update, but for now, have a great day.